Yeah, I needed to sneeze. This, the Clippers, man. The Clippers just need to, not just the Clippers. The 2-1-3 era of Clippers basketball needs to frickin' die, man. It needs to die. Immediately, I'm done. I'm sick. I'm done. I'm tired of it. I'm ready for it to end for good. I'm ready for it to just be in the archive room somewhere in the Intuit Dome, never to be heard, never to be seen, never to be touched. I don't ever want to see it again. I'm done. I didn't waste my freaking time with this team for the past 5, 6 years, hoping that and having just dreams and aspirations that this team would be able to get there, get to the championship, win the NBA Finals. I always had these dreams like, this is the year we can do it. I can envision a title. And we never get it. We never get there. It's the same old shit over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Kawhi getting fucking hurt when we need him most. Paul George not showing up when we need to. We make foolish fucking trades for freaking superstar players that, guess what? They'll show up in the regular season. They'll have some solid playoff games. But then when we need them most, they can't do shit. We have an energy guy that's out there who can't decide when to pull it back, when to pull it in, when can he play better, when can he not play better. We have a freaking coach who doesn't know what rotations to put out there, how to freaking draw up an actual offensive play, what players to put out there in critical situations, when he's not freaking becoming a damn bitch to certain players that are crying about goddamn playtime. We have a freaking player personnel guy that's giving away everything, all these picks away, like he's the Los Angeles Rams, saying F them picks, F them picks, let's do this, because I know for a fact my job's on the line, and if I don't trade for this guy, well then guess what? Let's do this way. And then we have a freaking owner that when he first got here, he was passionate about this basketball team. He was passionate about wanting this team to succeed for the future, coming out of the dark era, coming out of what is going to be a new freaking Hulu show in Clipped about Donald Sterling and everything that came out of that situation. He came in, bought the team. There was a youthful energy. There was an energy in the building where I'm just ready to see what the hell is going to happen next. And I'm thinking, for once, out of my favorite teams in the Angels with freaking Artie Moreno and the Chicago Bears with the freaking McCaskey family. I'm thinking this is the one owner that actually gives a shit about my team. This is the one owner that gives a rat's ass about my team. This is an owner that wants to put so much time and effort into this team to get them in a direction where they want to get out of the cusp of mediocrity, being laughed at, being mocked at, and being a team that he can look toward the future and be the establishment. Be NBA royalty. I won't say NBA royalty, but start to get on that path to it, to be recognized as, no, he took that franchise and he turned it around. And they ain't the same old Los Angeles Clippers. And now the owner has become a money hungry freaking cash grab con artist. That you can make the argument he doesn't know what the hell he's doing other than sitting front or courtside cheering the team on like a damn lunatic. not being able to see the writing on the wall, not being able to have the courage of his convictions, having the balls to fire people that have no business being here anymore. The 2-1-3 era of Clippers basketball needs to flat out die. Done. No more. No moss. I'm sick and tired of this same old shit. There was a time period out of my favorite teams in the Angels and the Bears when they were shit in the water and they were garbage. The Angels have been garbage since 2014. Haven't made a playoff since then. The Chicago Bears, I don't know what I'm going to get on a yearly basis with them. They can turn around and have a great season, and they look like they're going in the right direction, and then the following season, they suck. And it's back to the same old tradition. I don't mean to make this a Bears video, but I hope with the fact that we drafted Caleb fucking Williams, I hope he can start the change. And we put up consistent seasons. But with the Clippers, it's always the same old thing. Lob City, and even those 2 years when it was post Lob City, before we got Kawhi Leonard and Paul George starting the 2-1-3 era, those were very fun seasons because we had no expectations. Yeah, with Lob City, would there always be hopes? Okay, we can maybe get to the championship. Yeah, but we knew deep down more than likely we didn't have enough. But the energy was in the building. We were happy. That team put the Clippers on the damn map to be reckoned with. And that team, that era, started the consistent amount of good, solid basketball play we've had. We wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for Lob City. The Clippers would have been what the Charlotte Hornets are right now. Irrelevant, mediocre, and still struggling to find a way to win games. And if not, be a consistent winner. Everything that frickin' happened with Lob City. Honestly, I don't give a crap. I'd take Lob City over 2-1-3 any fucking day of the week. Shit. I even take those 2 freaking years we had when it was no superstars. It was just a bunch of role players and essentially just hustle freaking energy right then and there. I would take that freaking years over those freaking the freaking 2-1-3 era years. You see the pattern. There's no expectation. There's more fun. We don't have civil wars on Clippers Twitter 24-7, essentially over what this is, what that is. We can somewhat agree, somewhat disagree, but it's all in a respectful manner. It's not getting to the point where we're freaking have 2 different factions to where we hate each other, and the other side, we can't freaking stand each other. We always policing each other. I'm sick and tired of this crap. I'm sick and tired of this crap. This era needs to freaking die. I'm done. Whatever. Oklahoma City Thunder fan, if there's any Oklahoma City Thunder fans out there who are watching this video, you guys have won the trade. I am man enough to admit you guys have won the trade. You got all those picks. You've hit on all those freaking picks. You've developed Shai Gilgeous-Alexander from what he was developing in that 1 year in with the Clippers. And now Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has put his name on the spot, and he is a big name. And he's going to be one of the future NBA players leading the next decade. If I could go back in time, wholeheartedly knowing what the future entails, I don't give a shit. I keep with Shai Gilgeous and building around him. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. And that's the problem with this organization. They were always so damn afraid of what the Lakers were fucking doing. They were always so damn afraid of what the team across the hall was doing. We have to get this guy because, oh, the Lakers are going to get him. We have to get this guy because the Lakers are going to get him. We have to go get that guy because the Lakers are going to get him. We have to keep Tyronn Lue because Lakers fired Darvin Ham and they're interested in potentially stripping him away from freaking us. Always the response to the team across the hall. Remember that first year, street lights over spotlights? Do we remember that freaking stupid catchphrase and how poorly that aged? Just like the many other goddamn stupid slogans they had. Give everything, or what is it? No, give no quarter, give everything, give no quarter. That was the other one. That was stupid. That was up there stupid. Up there stupid with streetlights over spotlights. Give no quarters. I remember last season that was their slogan, and they were giving quarters away like it was goddamn pennies, goddamn dollars, goddamn puppies, and a freaking kennel. That's what give no quarter meant. Streetlights over spotlights. The stupidity. And in the fact, this stupid, shady business organization they're running as if they're some freaking mafia brand organization with not telling the fans what injuries are going on, telling the fans and being very reclusive about what they are not telling them. The Clippers organization is a fucking mess. And again, it starts at the fucking top. I'll get to Lawrence Fring and Steve Ballmer in a fucking second. But let's talk about the fucking superstars in this team. Mind you, I'll just say this. Credit goes out to Terrence Mann. Credit goes out there to Zubac. For once, I'm actually giving Zubac credit. He played his fucking ass off. He played his ass off in this playoffs. He's up there for playoff MVP for the Clippers. Terrence Mann's also up there. Everybody else can honestly F the fuck off. I don't give a shit. Let's start with the number one leader, Kawhi Leonard. My Kawhi Leonard jersey sitting over there. I have a Kawhi Leonard jersey. Shit, I have a Paul George jersey. I have a James Harden jersey. I have a Terrence Mann jersey, actually, too. I don't have a Westbrook jersey. But let's go. But going on. Kawhi Leonard. I'm sick and tired of this. He's a great player. He's a great player. I'm not going to take anything away. He's a great player. When healthy and when available. Outside of that, he is a virtual no-show. And with his passive tendencies in terms of addressing the media and things like that, I'm just done. I'm done with Kawhi. And two, I'm just done with Kawhi just from the aspect. I'm done with this injury shit every single year. If it isn't the ACL, it's a meniscus. If it isn't the meniscus, it's something else. Or the other ACL. If it isn't the other ACL, it's stupid inflammation in his freaking knee that prevents him from being the Kawhi he needs to be, and he's injured. Again. His real only truly healthy season was the very first year. And ever since then, ever since that freaking ACL injury back in 2021 on the Western Conference Finals run, his body's been breaking down every single year he's got to the playoffs. I'm done with Kawhi Leonard. I like him as a player. I like everything he brings as a player to the NBA, but I'm done. I'm done getting to this moment to where we get all right ready to the playoffs. We get through the playoffs. And then guess what? Right on schedule. Injured. Gone for the rest of the season, essentially. And that usually is what does us in. I'm done. I'm done. I'll go on to Russell Westbrook next. Russell Westbrook. I want to say Paul George for fucking last. I'm thinking about it. The least I have to say about Westbrook is he gave us energy. I'll say this. His stands, not all of them. Most of his stands were annoying and shit like that. Most of his stands were annoying. But other than that, the energy he brought, fine. I'll take it. But see, the problem is, for as many positives he can bring to the team, he does have his negatives. He can't fucking shoot. I thought last year in the Suns playoff round, he was great in the role he had. And then this year's playoff run, and especially once we got Harden, it's just like his role just weirdly was there. And I felt like he tried to do too damn much to try to get in favor with Tyronn Lue. This player, he played solid basketball the first two games in this Dallas Mavericks series. And then, since that game 3 stuff, he was garbage. It's time to move off on him. Nice little short story. James Harden. Now, I was fine with James Harden coming to the team, but really, realistically, I didn't really want him on the team because I'm like, why do we need James Harden? I personally don't think we need James Harden just from the standpoint it's another guard on the team that we would be trading for. They get him. He plays a solid regular season. And then with the exception of a few games of the playoffs, whatever. I'm done. I'm done with James Harden. He's aging up. He's fat. Whatever. I'm done. That leads me to the last member of 213. Paul freaking George. Everybody, well, not everybody, some Clipper fans give Paul George the title of greatest Clipper ever. And you want to know the reason why some Clipper fans do that? Because they look back at 2021 and they have this a nostalgia moment from when we made the Western Conference Finals. Let me take you back to that Western Conference Finals run. When we played Dallas round 1, did Paul George do much of anything in that series? Was he the guy that went Superman and put the team on his back and willed us to getting to the damn semifinals in round 2 to face the Jazz? Was that him that did that? No, that was Kawhi, if I remember. He was the guy that was in Dallas that when we were down 3-1, he put the damn team on his freaking back and he led us all the way from 3-1 to go freaking beat the Dallas Mavericks that year. Paul George just played a side piece. He was a side role. Shit, you even go back to the damn bubble. He was fake. Talking about, oh, well, my mental state was bad and, it's a struggle to get through this bubble and all this crap and everything. Bullshit! You get paid all this money to play. Show up. You're the second guy. When Kawhi don't have it, you need to have it. But going back, he wasn't the guy putting the team on his back down against Dallas. He had some solid games. He put the team on his back in game 5 in Utah. I remember that. He did that. But really, was he the guy that put us over the top against Utah? No. He gave us a shot to go close out frickin' game 6. He wasn't the guy that put 39 points on the Jazz after we came back from a big lead. He wasn't the guy that fueled that comeback. That was Terrence Mann fueling that comeback, getting us to the Western Conference Finals. So for Clipper fans going out there and saying, actually, before I say that, before I continue on, he didn't do, and then guess what? In the Western Conference Finals, we had a chance to win and steal a game. He misses 2 free throws, and then let the Suns win, get back in the game, win it. Don't we remember that? He missed 2 free throws. Critical ones. Late game. He bumbles around. He always requesting his friends, his best friends, whether it was Reggie Jackson, John Wall, Russell Westbrook. to come on the team. Just come over here. Come over here. We'll let you in. Running from blame when things are going tough. I think if we could have a point guard, I think Russell Westbrook, we should go get him. And I'm going to do whatever I can to tell the front office we need to go get him. He's my friend. And of course, the front office just caves to this fucker. Runs away from the freaking smoke in the playoffs when it means most. Like he did this year. And just being like, well, what happens, happens. It is what it is. Are we serious? Are we serious? Not showing up in games 3 and freaking 5. Not even showing up in the closeout game, the elimination game. That's your greatest Clipper ever of all time? That's your greatest Clipper? Paul George? Fuck out of here. He can walk, for crying out loud. He can get off my fucking team. I don't give a shit. I'm done with Paul George. Paul George is just this bona fide superstar guy that is grateful to now be in the league and still be playing basketball. And I'm going to say something controversial that maybe some people might not fucking like. But the only reason why Paul George's mentality at this point is so fucking weak is because of his fucking knee injury he had back playing USA basketball with that terrible one that I don't want to watch the video again. He came back from that injury. And since then, it's like his mentality changed. The fact that, oh, I'm so grateful that I'm back in the league. Yes, you have to take some gratefulness at the fact that from a really damn near career almost ending injury, you're back in the league. I'm not going to take anything away from that. And if you're thinking, oh, you're getting on him about a serious knee injury, trust me, I had my knee injury. I messed my knee up so bad playing football. Guess what? I can't play it no more. I had to essentially retire. I'm not going to blame him for that, and I'm not going to say he shouldn't be grateful from that instant and the fact that he played at an all-star caliber level since then. But it's just this mentality he has where it's just too soft-minded. It's too, well, shucks, guys. Well, get him next time. Yet he wants to continue to go on his freaking podcast and spew, I'm be back on my bully shit. No, you're gonna be back on your bully shit. Bully freaking messing around like a lazy, idiotic moron, not willing to take accountability for his freaking actions and not willing to show up when the team needs you freaking most. Passive P. That's what we call him over here. Or that's what I call him. Passive P. Running from all the smoke. That's your greatest Clipper ever. Quote unquote. From Clipper fans. I'm done with Paul George. He can fucking walk. He can go to Philadelphia. He can go to the fucking Knicks. He can go anywhere else in this damn place as long as it ain't on my damn team anymore. The same can go to Russell Westbrook, James Harden, and Kawhi Leonard. I don't care where they go. They can go to the freaking Lakers for all I care, and I don't give a shit. Go take themselves and your injury hobbly cancerous selves out of there. Off my team. Goodbye. Tyronn Lue. I liked him at first when he first got hired by the team. I thought, okay, he might be the guy. Especially after the Western Conference Finals guy, being he's the guy. Now, over the course of the season, over the course of the last few seasons, I defended him. But at some point, enough was enough. I think my stance on Ty Lue changed. In reality, was that the playing game. It was the playing game. And I think it really started the playing game against Minnesota. The one where Patrick Beverley, who's in the wrong for all the wrong reasons right now, basically had a championship celebration, right? That's when it truly started with me. When I was on this, I started to jump on, okay, Tyronn Lue needs to be fucking gone from this team. He's just a coach that lives off the success of what LeBron James did back in 2016 when they came back, miraculously, mind you, at that, against the Golden State Warriors. Ty Lue is a solid coach. He's a solid coach. I won't say good, I'll just say solid because that's just my opinion. But the coach is a moronic idiot who's stubborn, just like the mentor, just like the previous Clippers coach before him. And that was Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers made a quote after we fired him. He said, word for word, nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to be much different with him in the helm. And more importantly, he was right. You see, in 2021, the Western Conference Finals run, Ty Lue was on it that year. He was doing things that I liked, doing the right things. So if a player wasn't doing his job, he would bench them and he would sit them on the bench. And he'd play other guys. And he would give, and it looked like he was giving some young guys the opportunity too. And then somewhere in between after that season, really and it really truly kind of started the year when it was no Kawhi, no Paul George. Tyronn Lue, for some odd reason, that's when he truly started to become similar to that or a la of that of a Doc Rivers, where he started to play and have his favorites, his pick and chooses of the litter box. He would neglect players like Zubac, neglect players like Terrence Mann, neglect other young players on the roster that just don't get enough minutes. And he would go with other favorable guys of his. And mostly, like with Doc Rivers near his end of his tenure, his favorable guys was Lou Williams and Montrezl Harrell. Just kept going, putting them out there. Ty Lue's two favorite guys were Reggie Jackson and Marcus Morris. Those were his two guys. And he would continue to play them because, number one, he felt that, they led us to the season they had us where it was no expectations. I'm going to give them minutes. And then two, some of it has to do with the fact that Marcus Morris and Reggie Jackson got a very, and I mean very, huge ego power trip. Just like Montrezl Harrell. I won't say Lou Williams, but mostly like Montrezl Harrell. Montrezl Harrell thought he was the shit. Montrezl Harrell thought he was everything. Montrezl Harrell thought, well, I won Six-Man Year of the Award. I'm a dude on this team. Yes, Montrezl Harrell at that time, he was a guy, but he wasn't the dude. And he wasn't willing to say, Coach, for the betterment of this team, let me take a seat. For the betterment of the team, we need to win. Go get Zubac out there to at least match up against Jokic. Reggie Jackson and Marcus Morris didn't want to take the ego pill. And Ty Lue didn't want to have the sacrifice talk with them. But he was willing to have sacrifice talks with guys like Robert Covington, guys like Nicholas Batum, guys like Terrence frickin' Mann, sometimes guys like Zubac, when they always want to go small ball. They got to get the sacrifice talk because it's for the betterment of the team. They're young, spendable players. Well, not Robert Covington and Batum, but you get my point, right? Marcus Morris and Reggie Jackson, who were empowered by Ty Lue, didn't want to take the ego pill. Didn't want to swallow their egos. And Ty Lue, quote unquote, who's a guy that is a quote unquote player's coach, can people hail this guy as getting players on the right track? He couldn't tell these two players, swallow your pride, swallow your ego. I need you to sacrifice minutes because right now, personally, in my opinion, I believe these guys that can give us a better chance. I'm not saying you guys don't give us a chance to be a successful team. I just feel this guy, we need to play this guy more. Don't take it the hard way. You'll get your minutes. Stay ready when your name is called at any point in time. And he did, and from this start on, that's what he's been doing. He did it with PJ Tucker this year. He did it with PJ Tucker this year. When PJ Tucker was bitching and complaining and crying about not getting playing time. This kind of also leads into Lawrence Frank about not trading him, but whatever. And then after the trade deadline, Ty Lue starts playing him and giving frickin' PJ Tucker minutes. What? What are we doing? Why is the guy that was bitching, complaining, and crying getting frickin' minutes? Why? Because you don't want to accept the locker room and throw the locker room? You can't tell PJ Tucker, PJ, shut the hell up. If you don't want to be here, I'll go upstairs, have a talk with Lawrence Frank, and we'll see if we can work out a fucking deal to get you off this team. If not, we'll just cut you and we can move on. But right now, I need you to be a damn team player and celebrate and cheer your team. I went to Clipper games this year, especially during the time when PJ Tucker was doing his bitching. There was times on the bench, PJ Tucker was literally not with the team during timeout breaks. He was not celebrating the team when they were playing good basketball. But the moment he started getting playing time, oh, yeah, he's a team player. And then we keep rewarding him. Ty Lue kept rewarding this guy. And then Ty Lue in his dumb rotations, not seeing the moment of pulling guys when they need to be pulled, putting guys in when they need to be put in. For example, this series alone, by the time game 2 happened, you knew Mason Plumlee cannot be out on the court extended minutes. What does Ty Lue do? He leaves him out there, and he still played Mason Plumlee even in the elimination game. Russell Westbrook is stinking up the joint, still putting him out there. He doesn't get it. He doesn't get it. And then this whole beef with the front office. He was a part of the reason why last season, not this past late season, the past season before that was garbage. He played a role in that. So I don't care. He can get off my team. I'm done with Ty Lue. The fact that the damn Clippers are so damn afraid. They did this before this season started. They were afraid to let Ty Lue go, and because they didn't want him to go to the Phoenix Suns. Look at what the Phoenix Suns did. I don't think Ty Lue would have fixed that. And again, like I said, not all of the issues with the Clippers currently constructed are Ty Lue's fault. I'll give him that. They're not all his fault. But I'm not going to act as if he wasn't a part of the blame. Now these reports are coming out with the Lakers. And now, obviously, these reports come out, well, the Clippers really like Ty Lue and they want to sign him to an extension. Why? Let him go to the frickin' Lakers. I don't give a shit. He wants to be there anyway. He can say, well, he wants to be here. He wants to be there. And really, it's because the beef between him and Lawrence Frank. And I said after last season, they need to just fire the both of them. And I'm getting to Lawrence Frank now. Lawrence Frank. Let me look at how long Lawrence Frank tenure since being here as the Clippers. Let me look this up right on the spawns. Lawrence Frank. Let's see. Lawrence Frank has been on this team since the 2017-2018 NBA season. So he's had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years as the executive. Basically, your player personnel guy, president of basketball operations for the Clippers. 7 years, long enough, no championships, one Western Conference Finals appearance for his team. And basically first or second round exits. Why is he here? Why? And really, that's the main guy who's the main problem of this entire operation. The main problem of the 2-1-3, really. You can have your own instances and other players and things, but he is really right now the main problem. And he needs to lose his job and he needs to get out of the building. That is the guy that needs to be relieved of his duties. This guy, since 2-1-3 era started, has made very questionable decisions, very questionable moves. In hindsight, some of the moves were great at the time. But when you go back and you look at every one of the moves, you look at the move from Marcus Morris. He made that move. He made that trade happen strictly so the Lakers didn't have to get him. He made other moves strictly so the Lakers didn't have to get them. This guy, starting with the trade for Kawhi Leonard, or essentially the trade for Paul George, man has been giving up draft picks as if they are freaking candy. Thinking he is the Los Angeles Rams and he can literally say F them picks. Well, you can say that when you win a championship. The Rams won a championship, so they have every right to say, well, F them picks. Because trading each and every one of those picks for one championship is worth it. That's the problem. We haven't won a championship. So why are we willy-nilly giving picks away? He continued to make questionable decisions after questionable decisions in terms of roster construction. Things that, in hindsight, it ain't helping the team out in the long run. I just mentioned about PJ Tucker not cutting the guy. Who cares if you have to eat dead salary? Cut him. Trading guys away that maybe you can make the argument they didn't need to be traded. James Harden trade. 3 games into the season, we trade for James Harden. Why? The Clippers played good. And then on top of it, you agree to the 76ers demand to take on PJ Tucker's freaking contract. Let's go back to the Russell Westbrook acquisition. It's on paper, that Lawrence Frank did not want to go get Russell Westbrook. He was very much anti-Russell Westbrook. But he ended up becoming a coward, a scaredy cat, because he was afraid, well, if I say no to Kawhi or Paul George, they could up and leave. So what does this fool do? He gives in to Paul George's demands, and he lets them freaking, and he signs Russell Westbrook off the buyout market willy-nilly as can be, even though he was vehemently against getting Russell Westbrook. So we have a guy that's willing to cave for his superstar players because he's afraid of them, instead of having the balls to stand up to them and not wanting to freaking say, no, Paul, no, Kawhi, we are not doing this. I run the operation here. I pay you the bills. Guess what? We're making my move. This is my team. This is Ballmer's team. We make the final say on the moves. I have the final say. You guys don't. And that's the problem with the NBA. You have these professional players control their front offices. These front office people need to have the damn balls up in here and tell these people, say, F that. I don't care if you're LeBron bleeping James. This is my team to run. You're just the guy that's getting paid here. You don't want to like it here? Go be an owner of your own team. Or go somewhere else and we'll trade you willy-nilly like that. It's business. These front office executives like Lawrence Frank needs to man up and have the balls. But no, they just cower on and they're just giving to the demands of their players. If I was in a front office executive and these players came up to me, I'd tell them, fuck no. I don't give a shit if you got these 4 championships or whatever. I don't give a crap if you say I don't know anything about basketball and I know I can't win and I don't know what it's like to play the sport. It's my team. I control the shots. I control the roster. You don't like how the roster's built? I'll trade your ass. Lawrence Frank over here giving picks away. Remember last season? Again, the garbage season that I want to forget. But I can't forget. He was the guy that traded away. He's the guy offering contracts to Luke Kennard, that crazy amount of money. Giving Marcus Morris that crazy amount of money, where you basically were stuck with him. And that's why you got that ego power. But see, that's the funny part. Going back to Tyronn Lue, he'll play Marcus Morris that amount of minutes because of the contract he's been paid. But Luke Kennard was always off and on. And he getting paid basically a similar amount of contract like freaking Marcus Morris, but he barely got any play time. He got traded away for a washed up Eric Gordon who didn't do much of anything, who ended up leaving the following season to go to the freaking Phoenix Suns, and he didn't do anything over there. On top of it, giving away draft picks. Gave away a draft pick to the Houston Rockets, which ended up being Cam Whitmore, who we could have used, a youthful player, because we want to get off John Wall, because guess what? We made the stupid decision. We decided to choose John Wall over fucking Isaiah Hartenstein, who's on the Knicks, who's killing it. And then we ended up getting stuck with Mason Plumlee, Daniel Tice, and a bunch of rotational backup centers. Moses Brown! I'm done with Lawrence Frank. He needs to be fired into the goddamn sun and never be seen again. I'm done with Lawrence Frank. He is the main reason why the Clippers have all these issues to begin with 2-1-3. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be in this predicament. We'd still have our picks, and we still wouldn't be worrying, what can we get in return? What do we have left? He's basically stripped us so damn bare, we're going to be fucked in the future. To really 2030. And mind you, that's basically going to be 5 years from now. And this leads me to the last man. Lawrence Frank is the problem. But really, the only guy that can fix the problem and create necessary change is the owner of this team, Steve Ballmer. He pushed for this James Harden trade. He got what he wanted. And guess what, Steve? You got the same result. First round exit, Kawhi still injured, and no championship to go into Intuit Dome to show for. So when is Steve Ballmer? It's time that Clipper fans now start to wise up and hold Steve Ballmer accountable for his decisions. It's his decisions that really catapult and make the change that can create change in this organization. It's his decision to continuously keep guys like Lawrence Frank, guys like Tyronn Lue around when they should probably be gone by now. It's Lawrence Frank, or not Lawrence Frank, it's Steve Ballmer's decisions on keeping the medical staff around. The same medical staff that's been here since Lob City. Steve Ballmer had no problem cleaning everybody out from Lob City days or pre-Steve Ballmer era Clippers. He was fine letting anybody that was under Donald Sterling go away. But the medical staff team is still here. Medical staff team is still here. Jason Powell's been here since damn near pre-2010. Why is he still here? Get rid of them. Your superstar players consistently get hurt at the wrong time. Clearly, the medical staff is not doing the right thing. They're not putting these guys on the right training regimen. They're not putting these guys on the right dietary supplements to make sure that these guys can stay healthy for the course of a season. They don't have a plan for these guys to stay healthy. And then on top of it, they know what's going on, but it's more of a PR thing. So he should get rid of his PR guys when it comes to the reclusiveness of telling the truth to the injuries and to the fans. And just frankly, just being flat out stubborn because he's afraid that if we get rid of 213, that he'll get ridiculed in the media. That just comes with the territory, Steve. It's the sports world. You can't handle the pressure. You can't handle the fact that you'll get ridiculed. Clearly, you weren't there for the bubble choke job. Steve Ballmer is the only guy that can create the change and make the change necessary. And if not, well, the Clippers are just going to be what he is. And the worst part is he's not going to make change. I hope he makes change. I hope he fires guys. I hope he's okay. And this is the worst part. He was willing to move off on Lob City. He backstabbed Blake Griffin after promising him his jersey would be in the rafters. He will get a statue. He backstabbed that guy because he knew we need to go into a new direction. But he won't be willing to move off on Kawhi Leonard and Paul fucking George because of ticket sales. We need to make sure we have ticket sales. We need to make sure Intuit Dome's packed to the brim. Listen, true Clipper fans will be in the building whether you like it or not. I remember those 2 years we were retooling. There was packed houses. Packed houses. Packed buildings. People went to go watch those Clippers years because they were fun. They would be in the building because those were fun years. Seeing an underdog team. The energy was just as energetic as Lob City was. Steve Ballmer is willing to accept his losses with Lob City and move on. Let Chris Paul get traded away. Then you trade away Blake Griffin. Then you have one more. You let DeAndre Jordan walk. You completely kill Lob City by firing Doc Rivers. But now we can't fire Tyronn Lue. We can't get rid of Kawhi or Paul George. We can't get rid of Russell or James Harden. We can't fire Lawrence Frank. He doesn't want to do any of that. He doesn't want to do any of that. Doesn't want to do any of that stupid shit. He wants to stick around because all he cares about is ticket sales, Clipper fans signing up for the wall subscription, Clipper fans getting season tickets. Simple as that. That's all he cares about now. The money. Intuit Dome's here. Freaking in 2026, he'll have the All-Star game here. And he won't let Kawhi Leonard and Paul George walk away. He won't get rid of them. He'll want to bring them back. And yet, this old man will realize you'll get the same exact result. It's plain and simple. Before I end this video off, last year I went on record on social media saying after last season's debacle of a season that was ultimately a waste of my and many other Clipper fans' time, when the West was legitimately the weakest it's ever been in NBA history. The Clippers don't take advantage of it. They dick around. They don't take the regular season seriously. And the season ends the exact same way. Paul George ended up getting hurt with a few games left to go in the season. Kawhi Leonard gets hurt in the playoff round. Plain and simple. And at that point, I said, blow it up. Blow it up. The Clippers are not going to go anywhere. They will not be going anywhere under Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. That was the last true opportunity to go for a championship. With the West being so weak as can be, that's what they missed out on. Plain and simple. Plain and freaking simple. I'm done. I'm done with 2-1-3. This era of Clippers basketball needs to die. It just needs to die. And this may be controversial. I don't give a shit. My opinion. I don't care. The 2-1-3 era of Clippers basketball is one of the worst eras of Clippers basketball of all time. 2-1-3 era, and the reason why I say that is because 2-1-3 era of Clippers basketball is the flat out definition of cock tease. They continuously get your hopes up and you think that they're going to go the distance because they got the talent. On paper, they look good. They look like a championship caliber team. On NBA 2K, that's a championship caliber team. But when it comes to playing the games on the court, they're just the epitome of what the Clippers honestly have been for their entire organizational history. A fucking joke. 2-1-3 needs to die. And I'm just going to say this. I'll be into a dome. I hope I'm there night one. I hope I'm there night one. I don't care how much the tickets are going to cost. I hope I'm going to be there night one. And I hope whatever I have going on in terms of jobs doesn't get in the way of that. And to be honest, once those tickets goes on sale, I don't give a shit how much the ticket costs. I'm going to buy the fucking ticket. I want to be in the Clippers arena, into a dome, day one. And say I was a part. I was there in the building when the first Clipper game in Into a Dome happened. I'm not saying Clipper fans don't boycott the team. If you want to still go to games, you have every right to do that. But what I can say to boycott is don't buy season tickets. Don't buy the wall subscription, even though that wall subscription is fairly cheap. Don't buy those. Don't buy tickets. So if you got the stupid Clipper ticket reps calling you on your phone, say, thank you, but I will not be accepting my season tickets again. I will not be renewing my season ticket. Because you want to know why? Put a winning team on the court. Put a team that's actually serious. And then maybe I'll rethink my decision. I'd rather see a freaking tanking team to try to recuperate picks. And hopefully a guy that is on the level of Sam Presti, or if not similar to that, be able to make decisions and draft the right players and build a roster to where, okay, you look years from now, yeah, we were in the shitter. But guess what? We rebounded. And now we have a chance, hopefully with a new era, to get to the championship. I don't know what's afraid. The Clippers are good. LA's a big market. It says itself. New stadium. Who wouldn't want to come here? Why is Ballmer afraid? You got to say we got the new building. We got Los Angeles over here, even though technically it's Inglewood. But you get my point. I'm done. 2-1-3 Clippers basketball needs to die. And needs to put in the archive room. Never, ever to be seen again. 2-1-3 is some of the worst stretch of basketball I've ever freaking watched as a fan of this team. And at this point, I'm just flat out tired and exhausted. And if they want to run it back, that's fine. I have no hope that they'll get it right. I just hope, even if they do bring it running back, I hope Ty Lue's fired, and I hope Lawrence Frank is fired. Morally, Lawrence Frank. Because this organization is going to go nowhere if Lawrence Frank is still here and he's still making the shots. If you guys like the video, leave a like. Put in the comment section your thoughts. If you're a Clipper fan, what are your thoughts on where the Clippers need to be going? Because I don't know. I'm just done. I'm done. It's funny because I made a pre-record. I did a recorded video already of this, but honestly, I like this one better. So this one's going up on YouTube, obviously, as you're seeing it. I'm just done. I'm sick and tired. You know, I remember when we first got Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, I was as happy as could be. 5, 6 years later, look at me. I'm sick, I'm tired, and I'm just depressed. I don't know where the Clippers go on from here. There's no exit interviews for the players. Don't know why. Don't know if anybody's going to speak. If Lawrence Frank somehow speaks, that just tells me all I need to know, that he's going to be here. If we don't hear any word from the Clippers, that's basically it. So if we don't hear anything, well, hopefully that means changes are happening. But if we hear something Lawrence Frank talks, that only just tells me Lawrence Frank's going to be here. Anyways, I'm going to get out of here. If you guys like the video, leave a like. To Clipper Nation, I'm sorry that we're going through this shit. Hopefully we get past it. And hopefully we go into a new era. I'm just done. Mentally, just done.